Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Athens-Clarke County Animal Services Volunteer Orientation. Today, we will be covering all of the services that the animal shelter provides here for the county and how you can become involved in that process. My name is Abby Sawyer, and I will be leading you through your training today. I would like to start by thanking you for choosing to spend your free time here with us at Animal Services. By spending time here, you are making a noticeable difference in the lives of the animals. Athens-Clarke County Animal Services is a department of the Athens-Clarke County Unified Government. That being said, all of our funding comes from the county government and those who pay taxes by living here. We provide the following services for residents of the county: enforcement of Athens-Clarke County Animal Services ordinances, public safety from dangerous or sick, injured animals or at-large dogs, investigations of animal cruelty, information regarding lost or found pets, surrendering and reclaiming of dogs, cats, and other domestic animals, adoptions of dog, cats, and other domestic animals, and public education on a variety of topics related to animals. All strays that enter the facility will be placed on a 5-day stray hold. During this period, the animals may not be fostered or adopted, but they are still in need of socialization, so volunteers are welcome to love on them. Pets that have been adopted or reclaimed, however, may not leave the kennel with volunteers. These animals will remain primarily staff only. We also work with many other rescue groups, such as the Humane Society, and this allows us to boost our numbers and increase the capacity of our facility. These groups are able to claim and adopt out animals so that we have more space for the incoming animals within the county. The A.C.C.A.S facility will be closed for public viewing on Sundays, but we do welcome volunteers every day of the week from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Euthanasia is a reality for those working in the animal field, and especially while working at animal shelters. We are an open admissions municipal shelter, which means that we take in all stray and owner-surrendered animals regardless of health, behavior, or kennel capacity. While we do not euthanize for time, we still have to make difficult, humane decisions about the pets in our care based off of health, space, and behavior. Most euthanasias here at Athens-Clarke County Animal Services are health or behavior related. This means a humane decision was made based on the animal's health and well-being. These are usually situations in which an animal is in pain and not going to be easily cared for. A feral cat with a broken leg, for instance, is going to be in more fear and pain in human care after its leg is reset than if it were going to be euthanized. Behavioral euthanasias often involve animals that are dangerous to be around and are no longer handleable by humans. These are the statistics from our 2020 year here at Athens-Clarke County Animal Services. We have a live release rate of 97.98% for dogs and 95.19% for cats. Live release is any animal that has been adopted, returned to the owner, reclaimed, or transferred to a rescue for adoption. Through the work of our staff and volunteers, we've been able to drastically increase our live release rates over the past few years. These numbers and others from previous years are available on our website if anybody is interested in digging further into this. One of the most obvious services we provide here at A.C.C.A.S is adoption. Of course, we have lots of dogs and cats and other domestic animals available, so we want to make sure that we're sending happy, healthy animals home. All adopted animals receive their basic vaccines, deworming, a microchip, and a spay or neuter. All mammals receive this care when adopted out to ensure happy, healthy animals within the county. If anybody is interested in adopting an animal, they must fill out an application to be put in line. Adoptions are made on a first-come, first-served basis based on the time that adopters or potential adopters placed an application on the animal. Filling out an application does not mean that you have adopted the dog or cat, but it does mean that you've been placed in line to do so. We are lucky enough within Athens-Clarke County to have several entities that deal with animal adoptions, us being one of them and the Humane Society being the other large entity. There are several differences that do separate us, however. As Athens-Clarke Animal Services, we are county-run and funded, so we are enforced and regulated by the county government. We also enforce ordinances, pick up stray dogs and cats in traps, answer calls on abuse, neglect, and nuisance issues. We do have animal officers that can help us with these tasks. We cannot fundraise, but we do accept material donations. And of course, we do have pets available for adoption within the shelter. The Humane Society, however, is a privately run and funded entity. They do not accept stray animals, however, they do accept owner surrendered pets and may pull animals from the local shelters, such as A.C.C.A.S. Because the Humane Society is privately run and funded, they do accept fundraisers and require them to operate. They also have the availability of pets for adoption. One group that we do have the good fortune of working very closely with is Athenspets. They are a volunteer run 501c3 organization that works very closely with the needy animals of Athens-Clarke County. That luckily includes the pets over here at Athens-Clarke County Animal Services. Athenspets does a lot of fundraising that sends funds over here that we can utilize to better the lives of the animals here at the shelter. Much of the social media content that you will see about the animals here is also provided by the wonderful volunteers of Athenspets. A lot of the volunteers over at Athenspets are also volunteers and fosters for us here at Athens-Clarke County Animal Services. You will see a lot of them around from time to time, either at special events or adoption events, or just getting to know all of the animals here at the shelter. Arguably, one of the most important policies at A.C.C.A.S is the spay and neuter policy. All animals that are adopted out are spayed or neutered before they are to be released back to the public. By implementing this policy, we are able to reduce the amount of animals that do not have homes within Athens-Clarke County over a long period. There are upwards of 6.5 million companion animals that enter shelters every single year, and that number can be really reduced by preventing animals from having more animals that we are not able to care for. This ensures that we can provide the highest quality of care for animals without introducing additional animals to a shelter setting. In addition to reducing the overall animals that don't have homes within the county, spaying and neutering can reduce undesired behaviors such as spraying, roaming to find mate, aggression based on mating behaviors, as well as increasing individual animal lifespans. Within the animal field, there are 5 basic freedoms that are used to guide the animal well being and animal husbandry practices. By providing these 5 freedoms, we are able to drastically increase the quality of lives of the animals here at the shelter, as well as adopt them out into happy homes. These 5 freedoms are the freedom from hunger and thirst, freedom from discomfort, freedom from pain, injury, or disease, freedom to express normal behavior, and freedom from fear or distress. Animals that do not have to worry about these problems live happier and longer lives. That is the overall goal here at our animal services. All care that we do here at the shelter does have these 5 freedoms in mind. By following these basic principles, we are able to provide the best possible lives for these animals, even given that this is a temporary space for them. Volunteers are essential for the day-to-day functions of the Athens-Clarke County Animal Services facility. Volunteers help shelter pets by expending pent-up energy, relieving stress, building trust with humans, and receiving socialization. This makes the pets more adoptable and helps them find forever homes. Volunteers also provide enrichment, which reduces the stress of the animals here. Volunteers also assist in the day-to-day operations, such as cleaning up kennels and around the shelter. This provides the animals with a tidy living space, and it assists staffs and allows us to provide the best possible living experience for these animals, as well as helps our reputation with the community. Fosters help relieve space in the shelter and provide an in-home rest for a needy cat or dog. This helps us get a better idea of their personality and is more likely to get them adopted. In addition to volunteering with us, you may volunteer with Athenspets to promote shelter animals on social media, advocate for pets and their aid in adoption, and support medical cost of shelter animals. The most common volunteer opportunities here at A.C.C.A.S are dog socialization and kennel care, dog bathers and groomers, cat socialization and kennel care, enrichment, our foster program, special events including adoption and outreach events, and our Doggy Day Out program. In our foster program, our foster volunteers take an animal home from the shelter that is in need of a break. This is wonderful because it gives us a better idea of their personalities and makes them more adoptable. We frequently have adoption events such as our open houses or outreach events where we might visit a local business such as Blind Pig or Southern Brewing, where we bring some of our adoptable animals so that the public gets a chance to interact with them. Our Doggy Day Out program is like a shortened version of our foster program where you have the chance to take a dog out for the day during business hours. We do work with inmates here at Athens-Clarke County from Monday to Saturday. The inmates who work here are essential for our workflow, and we are very lucky to have them. That said, we do have strict protocols as far as inmate interactions go, for our safety and for theirs. Please do not interact with them or give them anything, especially a cell phone. Caretakers are on the property, and staff is at the front desk if you have any questions, thoughts, or concerns. As most people guess, there are plenty of dogs available at our shelter, and as such, need lots of love and attention from volunteers. We are going to cover some of the basic safety information as well as handling information that will ensure you have the best possible experience while doing so. There are several important safety measures to remember when working with these dogs. Because we are in a shelter environment, most of our animals will exhibit some level of stress, fear, or frustration. While we provide our animals with the best possible habitat that we can give them, this is still a very crowded and loud area. This is a temporary place that they are not used to, and there are lots of stimulus going around that might cause them to be elevated and more excited than usual. This is essential to remember so you can manage their stress levels as well as your own. This is a common misconception, but dogs, unlike primates such as humans, do not like being hugged. It feels like a restraint, so please avoid hugging all dogs at the shelter. Also, keep your face out of their faces. Much like people, dogs do not like having their bubbles invaded by strangers. While they might seem on the surface level excited to see new people, having their bubble popped and their space invaded can be another source of stress. So please respect the dog's areas as well as your own. Lastly, everyone here is a stranger. These dogs are around lots of new people every day, and they do not know who to trust immediately. To gain a dog's trust, it is important to move slowly, talk softly, do not stare them down, tease, taunt, or hover over them. Take things easy, and they will learn to trust you as well as potentially be your friend. Properly reading a dog's body language is the first step to ensure that you have a healthy, happy interaction with all of the dogs here at the shelter. These are signs of stress, fear, and aggression that you may see in dogs here at the shelter as well as other dogs throughout your life. By understanding what a dog is trying to communicate with you, you are one step closer to building a healthy relationship. While signs may be subtle, it is important that we can read all of the cues that dogs are sending to us. A dog that is stressed may pant, pace, yawn, spin, jump repetitively against walls and doors, lick their lips, or redirect their attention to something else to diffuse the situation. A fearful dog may crouch, avoid eye contact, tuck their tail, back or run away, try to look small by putting their ears down and lowering their body, and pull the corners of their mouth back. A dog that is displaying signs of aggression may have wide eyes or whale eyes where the whites of their eyes are visible. Their hackles may be up or the fur on the back of their back. Their ears may be back or flat. They may have a stiff body. Their lips may be curled with their teeth showing. They may be growling, snarling, or barking, and they may have a hard stare. An animal exhibiting any of these behaviors is obviously not an incredibly happy animal. By reading these signs, we can readjust both our behavior and the setting that they are in to encourage a happier, healthier dog. Many people misinterpret dog behavior by paying attention to only one body part, such as the tail. A wagging tail may be initially viewed as happy, whereas the tail is stiff, upright, and wagging, and the rest of the body is very tense. That means the dog is alert and unhappy in many circumstances. So, it is essential that the entire body of the dog is read. We will go over reading dog body language in person during the in-person training orientation and volunteer session. Can you tell the difference between how these two animals are feeling? The lighter dog on the left is clearly feeling very shy and fearful. Its face is relatively tense as seen by the furrowing eyebrows. It is actively trying to make itself look smaller by lowering the head below the level of the back. It is also turning its head to the side and not making eye contact with the person taking the picture. The tail is not visible, so you can tell that it is either lowered or tucked underneath the dog. These are all signs of a fearful or shy dog. When approaching this dog, it is important to stay quiet and do not make direct eye contact. Keep your body turned to the side and do not reach directly over or towards them. Keep your voice quiet and low and your movements slow and steady. By using these non-threatening movements and noises, you are signaling to the dog that you are not here to be aggressive or hurt it. The Chihuahua on the right is showing behaviors that are indicating aggression. The most striking body posture is that the corners of the mouth or the commissures are pulled forward while a Chihuahua is baring its teeth. It also has whale eyes where the whites of the eyes are visible and the ears are on the side of the head, not pointing forward in a neutral or loose position. The body is visibly tense and the tail is being held directly behind the dog. You can also see that the dog is leaning back. This denotes a defensive aggression, where the dog is actively trying to get away and avoid the situation, but is defending itself to the best of its ability. If you need to interact with this dog, approach it in a non-threatening way. Similar to the shy dog, keep your body towards the side and do not make direct eye contact, as that can be threatening. If you need to handle the dog and get it out of its area, please either use a towel, since this is a smaller dog, or ask for assistance. In the runs, you may be able to lasso the dog with a loop leash. If at any point you are uncertain how to progress with interacting with an animal, always ask for help. It is better safe than sorry. We are here to make sure everybody has the best possible interaction with all of our animals. While it is important to ensure that all safety measures are in place to prevent a dog from getting loose, it does occasionally happen. If this happens near you, don't panic. Yell "loose dogs" so that others at the shelter are aware and come help. A dog will typically require 2 people to catch, so come and get a staff member immediately. Once you have someone nearby to help, you can try and corral the dog into the nearest interaction pen and shut the gate. Ensure that the interaction pen is empty and has no other dogs in it before you do so. While it is important to ensure that all safety measures are in place to prevent a dog from getting loose, it does occasionally happen. If this happens near you, don't panic. Yell "loose dogs" so that others at the shelter are aware and come help. A dog will typically require 2 people to catch, so come and get a staff member immediately. Once you have someone nearby to help, you can try and corral the dog into the nearest interaction pen and shut the gate. Ensure that the interaction pen is empty and has no other dogs in it before you do so. Maintaining a clean and sanitary shelter is going to be the best way to prevent disease spread. Because this is a very dense population of cats and dogs, there is a high likelihood of diseases spreading. By constantly cleaning and disinfecting all surfaces here at the shelter, we are able to mitigate that disease spread and keep a healthy, happy population of animals. Always use hand sanitizer if you are interacting with one dog and then another dog, unless the dogs live together in the same run. Always scoop the poop. Poop is a common reservoir for all sorts of things such as bacteria and fungus and parasites, and by scooping it, we prevent dogs from contracting anything that a previous dog may have had. Always report any suspected health issues to staff members so that we can decide a proper medical course to take care of the animal. Again, cleanliness is the #1 way to prevent the spread of disease. Dog interactions and socializations are essential here at the shelter, and they're definitely the more fun part of volunteering with our dogs. There are several ways in which this may take place. Through enrichment, which is the addition of any stimulation that encourages natural behaviors such as foraging or lounging or pouncing. It might be through tricks and obedience, working with a dog through a training session to properly leash walk and remember their manners or learn their manners. Tender love and care with our volunteers, so sitting and just spending quiet time with the dog. Pictures, bios, and personality descriptions through Athenspets that allow us to get more information to the community about the dogs here. And of course, brushing, grooming, and bathing our dogs. Again, the more interactions our dogs get with humans that are positive, the more adoptable they are. I briefly mentioned enrichment in a previous slide, but here we're going to go a little bit more in-depth in it. Enrichment, again, is any additional stimulation given to an animal in human care that encourages natural behaviors such as foraging, stalking, or pouncing. Enrichment reduces stress and encourages socialization. Well-enriched animals are more adoptable. It promotes the freedom to express normal behavior, again, because it promotes the species-specific natural behaviors. All animals in human care require enrichment. Some examples of enrichment commonly used in shelters are puzzle feeders, new scents, chew toys, socialization, and fun hiding spots. These are functionally toys and new experiences that allow our animals to use their brains and their bodies. By keeping active, these animals are going to be less stressed and they're going to be resilient to new changes. If we introduce something fun and new into their environment and they learn that the new introductions are always going to be fun and exciting, that becomes more resilient and they learned that new fun things can be trusted. This promotes curiosity and confidence within our animals. Here we are going to cover the information necessary for our volunteers to work happily and healthily with our cats. Reading cat body language is also essential to maintain the cat's safety and your safety. Cats are quicker to fight or flight than dogs because, in addition to being hunters, they are also prey animals. This means they have a natural drive not only to hunt, but to protect themselves from other predators. By reading cat body language, you can also protect yourself as well as maintaining a healthy, happy interaction with cats. Look at the facial signs, ears, tails, posture, and whiskers of a cat to determine its temperament and current attitude. A cat with ears forward may be attentive and curious, whereas the further back a cat's ears are, the more fearful and or aggressive the cat may be. If a cat is flattening itself with the whiskers and ears, it is trying to look small and is likely fearful. A cat that is actively trying to look larger by fluffing its tail, arching its back, or expanding its whiskers may be actively fearful or aggressive and is trying to protect its space. If you have a cat that is flattened or backward, has its ears backwards, if it has flattened whiskers, bristled or tucked tail, an arched back, or is yowling, growling, or hissing, leave the cat be and reassess the situation. Find a less stressful way to handle the animal if the handling is in fact necessary at that moment. Always ask for help if you are uncertain about an animal's behavior. By socializing our cats, we make them more adoptable and we get them used to human handling. When you are handling a cat outside of its carrier, make sure that you have a secure hold. Support the body and hold the cat close to you. Do not allow cats to wander around the shelter or meet other cats. This is one way to spread disease and potentially start a fight. Cats may become stressed with lots of people in the shelter, so pay attention to behaviors and cues. The cat may be quietly signaling that it is distressed, but you have to pay attention and watch their behavior. Children under 18 are welcome to volunteer as long as they have a supervising adult. If a cat has signage that says, "Please do not handle me today," leave the cat alone and do not handle the animal. On the cat side of the shelter, we have a community cat room and 2 interaction rooms. These areas are really helpful for socializing cats and giving them a chance to unwind. Please do not bring any cats that do not live together already into a room together. This is a way to spread disease and cause potential fights. Along this tangent, make sure you use hand sanitizer after every interaction between animals. This will help mitigate the spread of disease. If a cat is acting scared or is hiding, do not pull it out. Instead, give it a chance to warm up to you and maybe try again later. When first starting to work with a cat, it is important to introduce yourself. Much like humans, cats would not like a total stranger coming in and rearranging their entire house. Therefore, it is important to make yourself known to the cat. To do this, open the door slowly and speak in a quiet, soft voice. You may slowly blink at the cat as that is showing that you are not aggressive. Offer the tip of your finger near the cat, although not directly at the cat's face, so that the cat might sniff you. This is how cats say hello, by touching noses, and the tip of your finger is a similar shape and size to a cat's nose. If the cat allows you to make contact, pet under the chin and ears first. Reaching over the cat's head might be seen as an act that is threatening. When pulling a cat out of its area, turn it around so that you are pulling it out butt first. That way, if the cat gets startled, it's going to run back into its main area. You may also use a towel, box, cage, or carrier if you need to rearrange a cat or relocate it. Hiding is a cat's first mechanism if afraid, so by providing that option, the cat is going to be safer and go into the area that we wish it to go into instead of hiding elsewhere. If a cat is being difficult, do not scruff the cat because that is highly stressful for adult cats. While mother cats do carry their kittens like that, the instinct for the kitten to go limp leaves after it becomes a mature adult. Instead, this is more similar to prey catching the cat. So if you are having difficulty with a cat, ask for help. We are always going to be happy to help you. Please wear weather-appropriate clothes while you are here at the shelter, especially weather-appropriate clothes that you do not mind getting wet or dirty. While many of our animals are inside, a lot of our animals and activities that need to be completed will be outdoors. So, if it is cold and rainy, please remember to bring a jacket, and if it's going to be hot, we recommend a loose, short-sleeve shirt. As you can imagine, sometimes things get a little bit dirty here at the shelter, so do not bring a shirt or shoes that you are super attached to because things will get a little bit messy. Always wear closed-toed, closed-heeled shoes, no flip-flops or sandals or chacos. We want to make sure that your toes are safe. There are lots of moving parts and people stepping around, and I don't want anybody to get hurt. Also, avoid dangling jewelry and be careful with long hair. As a professional setting, we do have a standard of conduct that we ask all volunteers, guests, and staff follow. As a volunteer, we ask you to be responsible. Always use good judgment and don't be afraid to ask for help. Be positive, friendly, and courteous. All customers, staff, and volunteers should be treated with dignity and respect. Be professional and appropriate in your conduct, language, and representation as an A.C.C.A.S volunteer. And finally, be present. Animals want and need your undivided attention. Please pay attention to the pet you are with at all times. Phones and other distractions only take away from your quality time here. After you have completed this presentation, please follow up with the questions associated with the online volunteer orientation. Once you have submitted them, you will be approved to sign up for in-person training through GivePulse. This consists of a tour of this facility as well as cat and dog training. After you have completed your in-person training, you will be eligible to sign up for your first volunteer shift through GivePulse. All new volunteers are required to complete 2 shifts as taskmasters, where you help clean our cat or dog facility before volunteering elsewhere at the facility. Thank you for attending the Athens-Clarke County Animal Services Volunteer Orientation. We look forward to seeing you at training. Have a wonderful day!